probably have gone through the how do you assemble the matrix if there are more than one elements, right? And so what is the degree of freedom are we talking about or we are trying to solve? So I will have to take name, right? Ishika?
So, please, can you repeat, sir?
So which degree of freedom we are trying to solve in the problem of tapered bar which we discussed in the last class?
So, one degree.
Acha. Punika? Kunika?
So translational.
Translational what? Translational what?
Degree of freedom.
You're talking in terms of physics. Variable क्या है? Which variable are we trying to solve?
The x and the x coordinate
And
u, sir.
what is u? What is u? Naga, what is u?
U is displacement, sir, from.
Yes. So the degree of freedom which we will be addressing in the mechanics problem is usually displacement. So how many components of displacement we will have? Gaurav?
So U has one component along the x-axis.
Yes, in the problem which we discussed, we have one component. Usually how many components we can have?
So 3.
3, right? So what can be those components?
I,
How
J, and
I, J, and K are the basis vectors.
yes, sir.
So if we have to define displacement in terms of these 3 vectors, we will have 3 components. You can call it ux, uy, uz, or u1, u2, u3,
Yes,
or
sir.
sometimes people call it uvw, right?
Yes, sir.
So have you started going through the books? Have you identified which is the textbook for the theory course, or how you will get references for this course also? वैसे लेक्चर से काम नहीं चलेगा. Ishika, you have found any book?
Sir, for FEM, I was seeing some books.
And did you find some?
Yes, sir. One was highly recommended. I saw it yesterday only, sir.
Which one?
It was by Dr. Seshu. Yes, sir. Or I can't recall the name, sir.
Okay, all right. So I have not heard of that name, but obviously that book can be good. No issues with that. You can take any FEM book because we are not trying to understand FEM in great detail. We are going to use that just as a tool. So this is one book which I will be sharing with you on the classroom. And this is by Cook. And you can also buy it. I do not know if it is in the library. But we have sent the requisition, but not for this book, I think. But you can find a cheaper version for this. So India edition is there for this book. And here you will see, so this book goes not into the mathematics very directly. So you also get some background information, some theory about the history of it, about what is the importance and why are we doing it, and all those things also you will get. तो मेरे को एक एसेंस बताओ एफईएम का कि हम क्यों कर रहे हैं, हमारा एजेंडा क्या है इसको समझने का. Can anyone tell me?
सर प्रॉब्लम को ब्रेक करके पॉइंट्स पे उसको डिफाइन करना और फिर अंडरस्टैंड
सर
करने इजी होगा
सर वो
जो
रियल वर्ल्ड प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स होती हैं, तो हम उसको पार्ट्स में ब्रेक करके मतलब रियलिटी के क्लोज पहुंचने की कोशिश करते हैं, ऐसे छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स।
राइट। सो हमारे पास एक प्रॉब्लम है, हमको उसको सॉल्व करना है. देयर कैन बी वेरियस वेज ऑफ सॉल्विंग इट. व्हाट कैन बी वेरियस वेज ऑफ सॉल्विंग अ प्रॉब्लम? Let's say if we had to find out the displacement in this tapered bar, what can be different ways of finding that out? How can we do it?
सर एक तरीका है कि सर बार को सर ऐसे नंबर ऑफ स्प्रिंग से कंपेयर करके सॉल्व कर दे.
Yes.
ये सर सारी सीरीज में है तो सर उस हिसाब से के इफेक्टिव और सारा सब हो जाएगा.
Yes. So you will see a lot of, so this spring thing is mathematical approach. We can have three different approaches. One is a derivative of the second one. So the first one is we can do an experiment. So we can take a tapered bar and we can fix it to the wall and we can apply a force. What we can do to nullify the gravity is that we can define the same problem in the vertical position. और उसमें जो भी force आएगा, we will have to add the force of gravity. I gave some assignment to Gaurav, a personal assignment to add the effect of gravity. तो Gaurav को solve करना है वो. So what you can do is you can take that tapered bar. So we addressed the tapered bar like this, which was fixed to the wall. And what we can do is we can also define it like this. So the wall will be here and it will be hanging from the ceiling. And so you can apply, you can tie a weight to this, right? And then we can actually measure the displacement at different places by putting some lines on the bar and then seeing that how far that bar has been displaced at different times, different locations. So if you do it for a metallic body, let's say, or if you do it for a concrete, if you do it for a metallic body or for a concrete, then you will not see any time dependence. But if, for example, you take any polymer, then you will see that depending upon how bigger the weight you are putting on that tapered bar, so the weight will increase the strain rate because you have more weight, so it will try to deform the material very fast. So there will be less time to get same amount of displacement in polymer in comparison to metals if we have fixed weight. And therefore you will get time dependence. So the displacement will not only vary with the coordinate x-axis, it will also vary with the time. Okay, so we have spoken about strain rate dependence also in the mechanical behavior and testing course in the last semester, but we stick to the metallic materials. We will discuss that time dependence in polymers in the second half of the semester. Right, so now we have this problem of tapered bar and we can address it doing experimentally, then we can do it mathematically or analytically. So mathematical or analytical example also we have discussed. What Shirish said is another approach of mathematically using analogs to define a problem, right? So instead of defining a tapered bar like a tapered bar, what you can do is you can also define it as a spring. One spring, you can then break it into different springs. So that becomes finite element approach to a spring problem. Similar things you will also find to define time dependence. So, but that part we will discuss later. When we are addressing polymer, if we conduct any test of tensile test on polymers, then also we'll speak about that time dependence of the things. Okay, so I think the machines are ready. Yeah. Okay, all right. So what we can do is there are two machines on which you can get connected. So all of you have any desk on your devices. I would request you to use a computer, a laptop. So you have any desk in your computers?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो फटाफट उसको डाउनलोड कर लो, ठीक है? अगर जिसके पास नहीं है, जिसके पास है, so Suraj has got it. So you can try getting connected to one of the computers. The code I will share in the chat. So I think Kushagra is already there. So so these are the two addresses of any desk. Any one of these you can get connected to. I don't think many people can get connected. So who is trying? Suraj is trying.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once you are connected, then you can share your screen. So Suraj, which of these two are you trying to get connected to?
So 179443.
17944. Okay, Ishika, you can try getting connected to the second one. Do you have any desk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you are connected, let me know.
Sir, my request is not accepted.
Yeah, I think there is some admin password thing issue which Kushagra is dealing with. So what you can do, Suraj, is you can try this number also.
Okay, sir.
So I'm accepting it, but don't open anything because this is my computer. Okay, so now Suraj?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you can click on present now. You can see the
So
Google
for
Meet. Yeah.
so for 464069, it's showing some errors, sir.
Yeah, there is. So these two numbers are in the lab, and there is some admin password required. I think I'll ask Kushag.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, actually, Sukhvinder sir is here and he is entering the password. So if somebody wants to join, he can join now because he is entering the password, and every time we have to add the password again and again for every joining.
Okay. Okay. So you, I think Ishika and no Bala. Wait. So I think Suraj is already connected. So let him do it. And the other two numbers, two of you can try getting connected. Suraj, go to the start button. Yeah, you all of you can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Suraj, go down, scroll down. Yes, wait. No, not that down. Go up. Yeah. So where defaults is there, just stay there. So yeah, click on the one which says Abacus CAE 2018. Yes. No, down one. I think this is 16. So this is 18. So I will click for you. So you click on Abacus CAE, and then it will open up in some time. So it's checking for licenses. So now it has opened up. Okay. All right. So all of you can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the user interface for Abacus software, and we are working in the CAE part. So here we will be dealing with the structural mechanics, so basically solids. There can be different user interfaces for computational fluid dynamic simulation. There can be, and we can also do simulations related to electrical problems, thermal problems in this same CAE course. So in the same CAE user interface. So Suraj, do you see a module written somewhere? Not model, module. Okay. So what I will do, I will disconnect you, and you can try it by getting connected to the two computers in the office. So still my screen is visible, right? Hello? My screen is not visible. Okay. कुछ बोल दिया करो यार, थोड़ा टाइम बच जाएगा. So you have to organize this because there are only two computers with us, and now Kushagra is saying that it is ready for getting connected. So Suraj, Gaurav, I would say Ishika, you join one of the first, so try to join the first number, Ishika, 179441, and maybe Gaurav can join 4069-80058. So join those two computers. Once you have joined, let me know that you have joined, and try to do it fast.
Sir, I have shared you two more codes. Actually, those codes doesn't accept password anymore, so they can be readily accepted as soon as.
Wait. So let me just share those. Okay.
Sir, I have
So
just finished installing Abacus on my computer.
okay, so then you don't need to get connected.
सर
Yes, sir.
हाँ बोलो, कौन बोल रहा है?
कुछ नहीं, ओके सर।
बोलो
वो
बोलो।
कनेक्ट सर, वो अभी डिस्कनेक्टेड आ गया।
हाँ, ये नंबर ट्राई करो, 1479 वाला ट्राई करो। और दूसरा कौन सा है? और दूसरा ये Ishika, you try the second one, 4521.
Yes sir, it's connected.
Sir, I tried the first one.
Are you connected with the first one?
Yes sir, I am connected with the first one.
I am also connected to the first one.
Sir, I can watch Ishika.
Fine. So others can try getting connected to these two numbers, the last two which I have sent, right? Maybe Gaurav already has it, so Suresh can get connected, Suraj can get connected, right? You can all try, all those who are not getting connected, also those who have been connected. So I will be explaining by sharing my screen. You can try to do the same thing there, but first see what is happening and then you try to do it, okay? So so how do you do it? You go to the programs where you have all the programs. So there you will find Abacus installed. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you click on one of these and you will see Abacus CAE. So click on Abacus CAE, wait for some time. So you will have something like this where it will take some time, and after that another window will open up which will look like this. So this is the basic interface for the structural part, what we will be doing. Also you can do thermal and electrical things here, but you cannot do fluid dynamics here. For that we will have separate module, but that will be explained by Dr. Prince, not in Abacus, I think maybe in different software. So there are redundant informations here. There are too many information here, which some of you might feel too much overwhelming, but there is nothing to worry about. So we will start very simple, right? And if my screen at any point of time is not visible, let me know. So you see there is a model tree here and there are various aspects to it. So first says the part meaning the object which you are trying to model. So let us take our tapered bar example. So for that case, we have tapered bar which we will be modeling, right? And we can go in great detail of each element, but that will take a lot of time. So we will do it on Monday if required. Till then, you can try doing a lot of things on this software. Not modeling completely, but you can try making a lot of parts. So part is basically the object which you are trying to model. If you double click on this, you will be starting to the module of part making. You see the same thing here also. Okay. So this is also a module tree. And here also you can go through all these things one by one. So we are already in part by default. So we will create a part because we have not created any part. You don't see anything here, right? So for creating, you can click on this link, this symbol. And if you just put the cursor there, it shows the text, which is create part. You can also do that by double clicking here. Once you go here, what do you see? You see that you can name the part. So let us name it tapered bar. And then it is asking about the space in which you want to create the object. So whether this object is axis symmetric, we will discuss about axis symmetric when we model tensile specimen. 2D planar, so basically it's a two-dimensional object, or you want to model a three-dimensional object. So we will be modeling two-dimension in this case. We can approach the same problem of tapered bar by modeling it in axis symmetric space. So for now, we will do it in 2 dimensions. So we select 2-dimensional planar. So then there is this option of types. So whether it is deformable, if it is rigid, and then rigid can be analytical rigid or discrete rigid, meaning that analytical rigid will define the rigidity based on an equation. Discrete rigid will define it by breaking into different parts. So rigid parts we will not be modeling. Rigid basically doesn't require any material property because it is completely rigid. So we will take deformable. Deformable is any material, almost all materials in this world can be deformed to different extents. So we will be obviously always modeling deformable, except few cases where we, for simplicity, can use rigid properties also. So we will take deformable, and then the basis feature will be a shell. We will discuss what a shell is. So shell, what you can imagine, the best example of shell is the covering of the egg. So that is the shell. So it is actually a 3-dimensional object, but it is very close to a 2-dimensional thing. So it is a very, very thin plate. So for now, you can understand that we can call shell. This you don't have to bother about, and then you click on continue. So you get this space of 2 dimension. So you see here there is a coordinate system X, Y, and Z. Z is coming out of the screen. In the positive direction will be coming out of the screen. So you can actually change it like this. So how can you do it? You can do it by Control Alt and clicking the left mouse key all together. So by doing that, you can see that it is a 2-dimensional space, right? So here we will be making the part. So let me start again. So I create a part, I name it tapered bar, 2-dimensional, deformable shell. I continue, right? Now I am in the space of 2-dimensional coordinate system, and I want to create that tapered bar. So there are various features. There is a circle. These are points. These are lines. Then there are arcs. There are fillets. There are different angle lines, and all those things which you can do. So I can take a square, or rather I can take some points. Okay, what else you can do is, there is a way of completely coding all these things. So you don't have to really go to the user interface and do it, but coding can be complicated. To make it easier, what you can do is, before doing anything, before modeling anything, the first important part is go to File and set your work directory. Okay, so define a folder in your system somewhere. So I will keep it in temp, or maybe I can keep it in, I can make a new folder. I'll make it MM311 work space. So I'm audible and my screen is visible so far, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I select this MM311 workspace to be the work directory. And once I have done it, I will go to where it is written macro manager, and I go to macro manager. Then this window pops up, and here I will create a macro. I will name it, so today is 5th Feb, so I'll name it 5th Feb class. And I will select the directory to be in work directory, which one I've defined previously. And then I click on continue. First character must be a letter. So I'll write FIFTH. Continue. And now it is recording whatever we are doing. Okay. And at the end, we will see what it is. At this point of time, don't bother about it, but we are recording whatever we are doing in Abaqus. So this will help us code the things. So we go to parts, and then we go to 2 dimension. Again, I will have to name it tapered bar, continue. And here I have to make a tapered bar, right? So what I can do is I can take 2 points. So I take 1 point here, 1 point there, right? And then I take some point here, some point here, and then I take lines and I join these points. Okay, this is a very simple way of doing it, but to address the problem what we have to have this area 7 times of the area what we had in this region, right? So I will forget about the thickness of this. So the Z dimension of this tapered bar, I will not bother about it, and I will try to keep the ratio. So I will have the unit thickness. So the thickness, let's say in 1 millimeter. Another important thing of this is that there is no dimension in Abaqus, right? So there is absolutely no dimension of any input you are giving in. The whole software will take everything as a number. So you have to be very careful about the dimensions you are putting in. So if I'm defining the dimensions in millimeters, and if I'm applying the force in newtons, then stress I will automatically get in megapascals. Okay, so all those things we have to be very careful about, and there are lists of dimensions of variables which you should be in accord with if you're following, let's say, millimeters for distances or for the dimensions. Okay, so now, so by clicking on this symbol, add dimension, I can select and I can make the dimension of this part. I can change the dimension. So now it is showing 30, no dimension. So I am taking it in millimeters. So this is 30 millimeter. So I'll make it 35 millimeters. I write here 35 and then it makes it 35, but the angle is changing. Just a minute. So far, any issues? So far, you see what is going on? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Very sad voice. So you are not sounding very excited.
Yes,
Anyways,
sir.
yeah, you are excited? Okay.
We can
So
make it, sir, these 2 points like symmetric from the line.
yes, you can make it half symmetric. That also you can
Yes,
do.
sir.
Yeah, you can do that. So you want me to do that? You can also do it. So in order to make it half symmetric, I will have to just draw a line, and that line will be 35 by half is how much? 17.5, right?
Yes, sir.
Make that dimension as 17.5, and then I will delete all the lower parts. So deleting I'm doing with this thing called auto trim. So I can remove all these unnecessary parts which are not required. And now I have this half part. I have to check the dimension of this one. So that should be 5 mm. Half of that will be 2.5. It is 2.5, which is good. Right. So we have now this part 7 times smaller than this part, and we have this tapered bar, right? And we have made this sketch of what we want to make in 2 dimensions. So now I say done, and this is done. Okay. So I have made the part. This part is clear. You can make different parts. You can try that module of part making. Okay. And you can try various shapes and other things. So we have made it in half symmetric mode. Now we go to property. So it is just an object and it doesn't know what kind of material property it should follow. Okay. So we go to property module, and in this property module, you see this very interesting curve, which we have already spoken about in our last course, stress strain curve. So this symbol here represents or asks you to create the material. So there are three things you have to do. First is to create a material. Second is to create a section. Okay. And third is to assign that material to that section. What does it mean? It means that now we are dealing with very simple problem, but this object, what we have made here, can have different sections which can belong to different materials. So if, let's say, we are modeling a composite where there are fibers in the matrix, or we are modeling a weld joint of a material, so we will have different sections having different material properties, right? So for example, I weld titanium alloy with steel. So one part would be steel property, one part will be titanium property, and the middle part will be having a different property, different from titanium as well as steel. So that will be my weld pool. Then there will be heat affected zone and all those things. So in order to do that, it requires that you assign the material to different sections. So it gives you that availability of doing it. So let us first create the material. So we click on that and we create the material. You name the material. We will name it steel, and or you can name it elastic material. So I will just put steel, although it is not steel. So I'll just put elastic then. Linear elastic. And here, don't get confused about all these tabs. In material behavior, you can write description here. You can, in material behavior, you will define all those things and they will come here. In the description, you can just write, and that is for your own help. It will not interfere with the simulation. So you can leave it empty also, it doesn't matter. It is just an information which you need to, for yourself probably. Okay, so what I could have done is I could have written material 1, and in description, I would have written that it is a linear elastic material. That's it. Okay, so in general, there are some properties. Don't bother about these properties. In mechanical, there are some properties. We will bother about only few. And thermal and electromagnetic properties we are not dealing with, because we are not solving any thermal or magnetic or electrical property. Others also we are not going. So we are sticking to mechanical, and there we go to elastic property. And in elastic property, we only mean elastic. We don't mean hyper, hypo, low density, all those different types of elastic properties. So we go to elastic property. Now it is asking if it is isotropic or if it is orthotropic and isotropic, all those things. So we know that elastic modulus is not constant in different directions unless it is an isotropic cubic crystal, right? So we assume again a simple model. So it is an isotropic material. We stick with isotropic. Forget about the field variables, forget about the long term and all those things, no compression, no tension. Don't bother about all those. Here, just write what is the value of Young's modulus. So we gave a Young's modulus value of 200 gigapascals, right? So as I said in beginning, that if I'm putting the dimensions in millimeters and if I'm defining the force in newtons, I will be getting stresses and similar dimensional things in megapascals. So Young's modulus I will have to define in terms of megapascals. So 200 gigapascal will be 200,000. Poisson's ratio 0.3. You can put 0.33 or whatever, and then just click OK, and your material has been created. Any confusion so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. So material has been created. Now I go to just the lower symbol again. I can click on here or there. It doesn't matter. So if I click on the right hand side symbol, section manager, it will show all the sections which I will be creating. Let's say if I'm creating more than one, and by going here, I can click on create and I can create all those sections. If I click here, I just go directly to the create section module. So in the section, I can write section 1, I can write anything else. So we are talking about solids and homogeneous solid. So default value is the right value what we have to take. We click on continue, and here there is not so much to do. Material has to be selected. So which material will be used for this section? So we have created only one material, so that is already by default selected by this. So that is there, and we don't want any change there. Plane stress, plane strain, thickness. This part means that how much thickness you want to define for this tapered bar. So if I want to model something which has a thickness of 10 millimeters or 20 millimeters, then I will have to write here that value. Okay. But in this case, I have defined the length to follow the same ratio of area. So therefore, I am assuming the thickness in the z direction to be 1, right? Otherwise, the ratio will change. So I will keep it 1, and then that is done. So I have defined a section. Now the third, from top, go to the third button, and there you have to assign the material to the section we have created. So we create, and then now I have to select to which part I'm assigning that section. The section has the property of the material. Okay, so I select the whole thing and I click done, and it goes to ask me which section you want to assign to the whole thing. I have created only one section, so I will be selecting that section and I will click OK. So you see on this section, the material is elastic linear, the one which I have created. If you create two materials, then there will be an option in the section defining module where you can select which material you want for the section. So here I click OK, and the whole thing has been assigned a material property. Okay. So material property is done. Now what we can do is we have to go to assembly. So this will become, I think, too much, but let me just do it, and you can have a look on the video lecture later. We will discuss this again in the Monday's class. So we'll discuss this in a very slow fashion there again for those who have not followed. So what we do is we go to assembly, and assembly means that, let's say I'm designing, let's say, an aeroplane. And so in parts, I will be creating wings, I'll be creating the tails, I'll be creating the tire of the aeroplane and all those things. And in assembly, I will put all those things together. So that is why this assembly module is. But our problem is so simple that we don't have to assemble anything, yet we will have to bring that part into the assembly. So just by clicking on the first button here, create instance, the part which I have created by default comes into the assembly. And you don't have to bother about dependent and independent thing here. It just means that if you make it dependent, you have to mesh it in the part module. If you make it independent, you can mesh it in the assembly module. So for now, I'll make it independent. I click OK, and now it comes to the assembly. You see two different coordinate triodes, and these two coordinate triodes belong to, one belongs to the part, another belongs to the assembly. So in this case, both are same. The things vary if we are assigning a composite where the part has a different coordinate axis and all those things. So we are not in that complicated zone. Now we go to step. Step is what kind of solution we are asking for. So is it a dynamic solution? So is there any time dependence? Are we talking about a deformation which is so slow, so isothermal in nature that you can assume it to be static in, let's say, a finite amount of time? So that kind of solution, so when we do tensile testing of metals in a very real time, then that is a problem which is very isothermal. So there is no dynamic effect, there is no inertia effect. So for example, you conducted a tensile test for 10 minutes, and each second you can think that the deformation was not time dependent, so it was basically static. So for that 1 second, the material did not move by a significant amount. So that we defined simply in the jargons of this modeling as static, general static. So I create a step, and initial means initial condition. Initially nothing is happening, so it is there by default. Don't delete it, don't do anything with this. And then create a step. Step is the part where you will be applying force on it, and you will be asking for the solution. So I'm creating that step, and I'm defining that to be static general. So static, as I explained what static is, you can take dynamic. There are different other types of steps defined. We don't have to bother about it. So for now, we take static general, continue. And here there are some information about how you do the FEM. NLGeom we will discuss later. So you don't have to do anything here. This is asking for that, let's say it is trying to solve the displacement value, right? So if you look at this tapered bar problem here, so this tapered bar problem, I have applied a force of P, right? And this force which I have applied, let's say, is being applied in 100 seconds, okay? So the application of load is uniformly distributed to the time zone of 100 seconds. So in each second, the force which is applied is 1000 Newton divided by 100 seconds, right? So that much is the load applied per unit time in the module, right? So in each unit time, there will be some calculation going on, and that calculation, so this calculation which is there, will be solved numerically. So numerical means by doing iterations, right? So the basic equation which FEM solves is simply this: F is equal to K into U. This one. I don't think we have enough time to explain the whole thing now. So this is the basic equation which FEM solves. F is the force column vector, K is the stiffness matrix, U is the displacement vector. So if, let's say, this point is fixed, so that information will be in the displacement column vector. And if you are applying a force here on node number 4, that information will be there in this column vector, and only to some of the nodes, right? So on node number 2 and node number 3, there will be no information, because we do not know what is the force is there, what is the displacement there. So those things are unknown. So this whole column vector will have few values, and displacement vector will have few values, and the stiffness will be defined by the material property, and by iteration this FEM will be solving the problem. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so I will stop here today, because if there will be too much overloading if I continue anymore. So try to digest what we have discussed, okay? And we will stop at creation of step. We have not created the step, so we'll stop at the assembly, and we'll talk about creating step on the Monday class. Okay, and what you can do is you can use the software in your laptops, and you can try creating different parts. You can try creating a disk, you can try creating a sphere in 3 dimension, all those things you can try out. Obviously you can try other modules also, but if you are not comfortable, then stick to the part module and materials module. Okay, so far any question? Yes, Gaurav, did you understand anything?
Little bit, but I'll have to watch the video again, the recorded lecture.
Yes. So please watch the video, and it's like a game. You can take it as a game, although it's not very engaging game, but it might be engaging for some people once we finish it. So there is no shooting or driving the car and all those things. It's a real problem solving game. So not so much attractive, but you can stick to the modules which we have discussed, look at the video again and again if you want, and try to get familiar with the software. Don't bother too much. There are too many information in the software because there are levels of complicated problem which can be solved with this. So we will stick to what we are addressing as of now, and the theory, the real theory of finite elements and the plasticity, let's say, and how we deal with plasticity, also elasticity and how we solve it. We will discuss all those in the theory course in the second half of the semester. So don't bother about how it is happening. Just take it as an app or as a game and get familiar with the software until next class. Okay, and all those who have not installed it, install it. We should be ready with the software on Monday. All right, so that's it from my side. If you have any question, you can ask me now. You can post it in the Google Classroom, and you can approach on Telegram. And you can also take helps of Kushagra and Avnish and Abhinav Maurya. Yeah, so you can leave the meeting. We are done.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.